All right, the State Department announces the U.S. will be placing sanctions against the Russian government in response to the poisoning of a former Russian spy and his daughter back in May. So, can the critics still say President Trump is not tough on Russia? And when do these sanctions come to pass? Here with more reaction is Director of Defense Studies at the Center for National Interest, Harry Katsianis. Harry, we got a bunch of topics to talk about, but first, additional sanctions. Out of what the measures handed down, what is the most significant?
Well, Brian, we're going to ban Russia from being able to bring in a lot of advanced technologies, things like supercomputers, things that really allow any modern economy to essentially flourish. And I think it's something that we have to do. We have to keep in mind, Brian, what Russia did a few months ago. When you attack another country with a weapon of mass destruction, a nerve agent, in most circles, that's an act of war.
It's just
amazing.
We
had to push back.
It's amazing that the EU isn't more outraged, and Britain, who was outraged, haven't done anything else. I guess what you told me in the break is the investigation never stopped, and now we're for certain that they did this attack, this chemical attack, and that's why the additional sanctions ramped up. Next, Iran. We move out technically in May, officially this week, of the Iranian deal, and we asked the EU to do the same thing. They say no. And they said to their companies that are in their countries that invested in Iran, if you pull out, you'll be sanctioned. My head can't wrap myself around that, but it is a hit on us. That's the theme, isn't it?
Yeah, Brian, and this doesn't make any sense to me for a very logical reason. The Iran nuclear deal had to die for one specific reason. It had a huge loophole in that it allowed the Iranians to build more advanced missiles. Now, the European Union would be the first one in the firing lines if they continue to build missiles like that. Then when the deal expired in 10 to 12 years, the Iranians, I'm sure, would probably start building nuclear weapons and take those nuclear weapons and put those on those advanced missiles. So it does not make any sense why the EU would not back us on getting rid of this bad deal, but even trying to go to the Iranians and reconstituting some sort of agreement that everybody can live with. So I don't understand why the EU would actually try to harm its own companies. It makes no logical sense.
40 seconds. We found out Mike Pompeo asked North Korea, get rid of 60 to 70% of your nuclear arsenal, and they didn't budge. He kept asking, and then the meeting came to a close. There might be a third one. We were also promised he was going to get a one-on-one with Kim Jong-un. That never happened. Where are we at with this?
We're basically at a crossroads, Brian. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that the North Koreans, short of some sort of miracle, are probably never going to give up their nuclear weapons. I think what the administration's going to do is they're going to take the next couple months, try to see what negotiations could bear some fruit. But I think after the midterms, I think this administration is going to take the gloves off when it comes to North Korea. And Kim Jong-un should be ready, because max pressure 2.0 could happen.
Right, but without China on board and Russia on board, it won't as it was. They are obviously at odds with us right now, one over trade and one over all their other actions. Harry Katsianis, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.